Trump and Elon, two of the most powerful people in the world, are now beefing with each other. And the crypto markets overall don't really like powerful people beef. So how could it affect crypto and your potential altcoins investments? So what happened? Well, you liking the video didn't happen yet, right? Please subscribe if you're new, by the way, because we're gonna nail it. But then these things happen. According to BBC, so that's also not always what happened, but according to BBC, the day began with Trump saying he was disappointed with the criticism that Musk had about Trump, the taxes, Doge, etc., etc., etc. Then things escalated a little bit further. Elon responded saying that without me, Trump would have lost the election. Hey, you can agree, you can disagree, but you can all say that that's asking for escalation. But Elon didn't stop there. Then he said, maybe the obvious, but he said it. Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Now he's just asking for a war. I don't know exactly why these things are being said and why it got so personal, but it got pretty personal. Now, why is the crypto market responding to this kind of stuff? First of all, the markets, they don't like uncertainty. The market likes when everything is going fine, especially crypto, because the S&P, for example, yeah, they can handle some tariffs, right? They, of course, get into a shock and they be like, oh, but that's it. Let's buy it up and we're back there. But crypto is not really the Wall Street type of audience. Crypto is more like, it's raining today, fucking sell everything right now, right? So let alone if Trump and Elon have an argument. Therefore, crypto is going down. But on top of that, Elon also tweeted the following: the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. Whether it may be true or not, it's scaring people. Why? Well, recessions are typically not that great for crypto. If you look at how the S&P responds to recessions, see that in the last couple of recessions we had, 2020, 2007, 2001, 1990, 1981, yeah, down 30%, 30%, 50%, 26%, 20%, 24%, 17%. And we all know that crypto is following the stock market, but on steroids. So if we get a 30% correction in the S&P, then what happens to crypto? Well, we can take the last example, 33% down in the S&P, which was here during COVID. It made Bitcoin go down 62%. So you know that Bitcoin is way more volatile. And yeah, what's way more volatile than Bitcoin? The altcoin market. Minus the top 10, because hey, what's the fun in that, right? That went down 71%. Okay, so if we indeed come into a recession, there is a chance that on average, the altcoin market could fall with 70%. Let's not say that it's not possible. Now, what does it mean, right? Should you be scared for this to end up in a recession, that the beef is going to escalate, that the tariffs are going to have a huge impact, and just sell your altcoins right now? That's something you have to decide for yourself, because we cannot look into the future. Maybe there will be a recession. Maybe it will happen in Q3, 4. Maybe it will happen by the end of the cycle, which will line up with the bear market, and that's the narrative actually for the bear market this time. Maybe there won't be a recession. At the end of the day, we don't know. But I do think it's smart to hedge just in case. What if we do get a recession? We all know that, forget about the shitcoins for now, that investing in crypto during such a time is that's the best thing to do. If you bought Bitcoin somewhere close around 3K where it went, 4K, 5K, you did fantastic, of course. So in the long run, yeah, it's Mr. Positive, but it's an opportunity. However, for certain altcoins, they're not going to survive that. And with certain altcoins, I don't talk about an ETH. I don't talk about the real high caps that have been around to stood the test of time. But I am talking about the trenches, about your meme coins, about the speculative new coins they will get demolished. Because again, this chart right here shows everything without the top 10 within the top 125. So your shitcoin rank 2000 is not gonna like this. So how do I hedge? I am not changing anything based on what's happening right now. I keep having a portion of my crypto in cash because there could always be a black swan. There could always be a reason why things go down. And I want to feel somewhat comfortable if that happens. But by no means I am going to sell my crypto based on this news, because I do think that that's a better way to lose your money. And let me show you why. Apart from the news, let's take a look at what is actually going on in the market. Because the market, it doesn't really respond to news. We had a Bitcoin golden cross not too long ago, and there's about a 50% chance that Bitcoin then goes down. So it was already kind of coming that there was a good chance that Bitcoin was going to go down. It did, and we only needed the news. And what a coincidence that the news comes at that time. So I do feel like, again, the charts are already saying what is going to happen and the news follows. That has always been the case. It sounds weird, but that's how it works. So if I look at the charts, I look at Bitcoin right now and I'm like, yeah, look, I mean, if this is not a bull market, then what is? Also, if we take a look at Bitcoin and we zoom in a lot, is this chart showing like here we got the news basically. Is this chart showing like, wow, this is terrible? The chart is more showing like, hey, oh, it went down because we are crypto and we can't handle anything basically. Then we be like, oh, but it's not like, oh, but it's still Bitcoin, right? We should just buy the dip. Yeah, okay, let's go. And it broke support. It broke important support, but it's now above it again. And I feel like this was already the bad news. How did Bitcoin respond to this bad news? It went down with just fucking 5%. This is a Tuesday. We get this without bad news. It could go down more if it escalates, of course. But this is not the type of news that completely shakes out the market so far. By selling right now, I think you are making a big mistake. And when it comes to the altcoin market, you know it's a recession after it was a recession. You don't know that beforehand. It's based on the numbers that come out quarterly, so it's after the fact. But you could say here like, oh, recession, let's sell. What did you do? You sold the best buying opportunity, basically. Bad news is for buying assets that you have faith in. So I am not saying like, hey, get into some risky shitcoins. But if you feel like, man, Ethereum, some great layer ones, some altcoins that stood the test of time, that's what you want to buy. And Bitcoin, that's what you want to buy. If you did that right here, yeah, a lot of people said like, oh, recession, it's over, cycle over, yada, yada, yada. Thanks for selling me so cheaply because it never went down there again. The danger is that if you sell something that might get bad, the danger is that it might not get that bad. And what if it all turned out to be a great buying opportunity and the market goes up? You feel like, oh shit, it went up all this way. Let's FOMO back in. You buy the top and then you write it down. Right? That's not what you want to do as well. So apart from bad news version 26 in this cycle, is it really bad? We're in the second half of the post-halving year. That's usually the moment where crypto runs hardest. Not a single top indicator has flashed. Altcoins are sitting at some extremely oversold levels right now. The Bitcoin dominance is really high, showing that it's a good time to dump your Bitcoin and get on the altcoin train. If you zoom out enough, there are 30 reasons not to sell and one reason to sell. And that reason is this time is different. And maybe for the first time in history, people will be right about it. But consider, what if I'm not? Are you willing to miss out on the bull market because you got scared about one piece of potentially bad news? I'm not trying to make it sound nice. It sucks. It's bad news. But I also feel like if we have to get emotional and sell and doubt with every piece of bad news that we have, you would have sold 2 years ago. missed out on a lot, and just got wrecked. This is what the market does. It gives you bad news that comes together with a buying opportunity. And then the bad news doesn't seem that bad in hindsight. And that's where the opportunities are and where people made money. And they did that because there were a lot of people who don't know enough about the market, but they just look at the news that awakes the emotions in people, and they will sell it to the winners for a very low price. So you choose. Are you smart? Are you the one that says, yeah, no, but this time it's really bad. This time we should just sell. It's over. It's different. We should sell. Or are you going to be the one that says, Warren Buffett style, buy the fear, sell the greed. Is there fear right now? Yeah. So let's buy that up, because historically that has a 100% win rate. It's not a guarantee, but you are betting on the fastest horse that way. So I would say, calm down. Let's not focus on the noise too much. Focus on what we got in the market. And that is still a crypto market with more than $3 trillion. Still with a Fed that's closer to ending QT than not. Still with a Bitcoin over 100K. And even if it goes to 98, whatever, it's still fine. Still the Bitcoin dominance is high. And you feel like, but that's bad for alts, right? It is bad for alts. Definitely, but the higher it is, the better of a moment it is to buy alts, because it has more room to the downside and less room to the upside, of course. If I look at the charts, I see a correction that we get every week. There's nothing on these charts that tell me you should watch out with this. If the news is that impactful, then it would have impacted the charts as well. I guess that it's not that bad. And again, disclaimer, it could escalate, definitely. Always keep some cash behind, right? That always applies. But if I look at my altcoin watch list on the dollar pair, the biggest loser is down with 2%. The biggest gainer is up with 10%. If you look at it on the daily, right? And it got bought up right away again. So again, these type of news happenings are for buying. They are simply for buying. DCA. And if you feel like, oh yeah, I happen to bought a little into the panic and now sitting in some profits, take some profits out. The market never goes down in a straight line. Even if this will become a recession, the market doesn't go down in a straight line. It will go up and down. You don't have to be a pro trader, but if you react to that a little bit, you can make so much out of it. Right? Therefore, I would say follow the channel, because I have no emotions. I don't know why, but I don't have them. And I think that the only thing that is going to wreck you in crypto is by having emotions. But for me, I don't know, I'm dead inside. My son calls me the walking dead. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. My simplistic view, maybe zooming out, not overcomplicating it. Maybe I don't see a lot of things that are going on right now, but maybe it's for the best to not look at things that maybe are not there. Let me know down below. Are you scared? Do you feel like opportunity overblown maybe? If you're new to the channel, I see like 33% of the people didn't even subscribe. Like, why? Why? Like, come on, man. Would it help me? But mostly it would help yourself. Between all these shit YouTubers out there, there's some quality on YouTube. And I try to be in that category, but I'll leave it up to you. So please like the video for now. Plus, soon I am sharing my full crypto portfolio. You may find that interesting, so stay tuned.